Yeah, it's going down, man. I'm here with Trixx, representing that D-Town, man. D-Town artist.
Hey, what's
He's been
up?
doing his thing for a while, man. He was telling me, Trixx had a run in with one of the legendary '69 boys, man. And we were just talking
Yeah.
about that and how you were linking up with Slip and Slide, man, earlier on, man. Just talk about Slip and Slide on the grind and just that whole interaction and how that kind of started kicking out for you.
On slip and slide on the grind is to use baseball analogy. Slip and slide records was the major league, and slip and slide on the grind was the minor league, and that's the same way Plies got in with them. Uh, Basically, they put you on and they put you on their page, and they just keep an eye on you and see it. If, you know how your buzz grow. How you moving and everything. And if they feel you can come up to Slip and Slide Records, they brought you up. And uh, that's how I end up meeting three of them from the 6 and 9 boy.
Yeah. And so when y'all start working, what's some of the first things y'all start getting into?
Uh, we did a couple of songs. We got one that we did with Al B. Sure,
Nice.
and that one was real nice. And we got a couple more that just me and three of them did, and we got some stuff coming out in the future.
Yeah. So talk about you, man. What about your life, man, and just what kind of even got you to where you are, right now?
I'm actually writing a book on it called God Brought Me Through. God brought me through it, and really music like saved my life because I fell in love with it in middle school, and I've always had a gift to write, and I can take off 20 years and then pick up a pad and pen and do it just like I've been doing it the day before, So that right there kind of kept me out of a lot of trouble and made me walk a straight line because I didn't want to be one of those dudes that end up saying what they could have been. And y'all are hearing about your boy come home and he telling you that, man, my cellmate in there, shit, he can flow with the best of them. And I never wanted that. So I wanted to give myself a fair chance. So my life always have revolved around the music. And that's why I decided to write that book. God brought me through it because it will explain all of that. All of it tie in together. And it will explain, I know people that follow me, they know that at 19 I shot and killed my stepfather for putting a knife to my mother's throat. Uh,
Okay, wait. Let's start right there at 19. Can you talk about this whole thing? Like, you can't you know what I mean? You can't just put that out there, man. So we need a little backstory on this. Like, how does that how do you even get to that point? Just somebody that you grew up with as a stepfather and you
yeah,
kind of got tired of it, or you happen to come in one day and
that's
see
the
something going on, or like what? How did that even play out?
that's the hard part, man. It was like bittersweet. It was like killing a family member. Uh, I had left school to go to the Art Institute of Dallas for the music and video business. Uh, trying to get into producing, but I'm really just an artist. I really don't like to produce, but that was a way
To
to
get
get in the
in,
music
right,
business.
right.
So I was like, well, I'm gonna go there. And at that time, my mother had told me, well, she didn't tell me. I came home one weekend and I seen her face, and it's crazy because the same crack I got, she had a crack like that where he hit her with a nugget ring, and he wouldn't let her go to the.
So, but yours, where did yours come from?
Me and one of my
Oh,
cousins
just fighting, yeah.
got into it, and he hit me with a glass pitcher of beer. And when I seen my mother, when she opened the door, she couldn't look me in my eyes, and I was like, like, what's going on? Like, what happened to your face? And then that's when she told me, and like you said, this is a person that's been with my mother since I was 6.
So this been in your life. You know that y'all got a relationship.
So for
right?
13 years. So
have you seen abuse for 13 years, or this is your first time? Like,
you know what? I seen it, but it never got to that level. Like I ain't never seen. She told me some things, but I've never seen it like that. And you know, I went to him. I went to him, and I just told him, you know, man to man, hey man, that's my mama, and I don't say nothing with the arguing, but if that happened and I'm here, I don't know what I might do. I may call 911. I may break it up.
It's just a private conversation you just had with him. Just put him to the side. Yeah.
And he brushed it off like, oh, Trixx, you know, everything okay, you know. It ain't what she say it is. And that brings us right back to 2 months, about a month to a month and a half later. I had to go home because I was working at UPS, and I had got from jumping in and out of those trucks, and it was raining and cold. Around that time, I caught the flu, and it had went into the pneumonia. So at that point in time, my mother told me and my cousin, just come back home, and let me get y'all back, nurse y'all back to good health. So we went down there, and I ended up getting the whole house sick, and you know, we was at it got to the point where we was all at the hospital because I grew up where I think J-Dog Mel said his mother from there. I grew up back and forward from Dallas to Tyler, East Texas. And I know Propane lived in Longview, right next to it for a little bit. So when while I'm there, I'm in Tyler, and we make it to the house. We hadn't eaten nothing all day, so my mother was like, "Let me back up, cause I gotta all this gonna be in the book." Now, this was on a Tuesday. The Tuesday before that, it may have been a Thursday, but the Thursday before that, mine was January 19th. 1 week before that, my homeboy gets into it with his stepdaddy. They get to fighting. He bought a car from his stepdaddy, and when he bought the car from his stepdaddy, he missed a payment or two, and they went to fist fighting. And as they went to fist fighting, hold on just a second. As they went to fist fighting, the daddy grabbed his gun. The stepdad grabbed the gun, and my boy went and hid in the closet. And man, that dude came and opened up the closet door and let 6 go. I don't know exactly how many shots, but I think it was 6. And that was that Thursday. That's the first murder of 1993. The next Thursday, I remember this because I remember what they said on the news story. So now bring you back to then. We come home, my mother say from the hospital, hey, go get something to eat. Go to churches and get something to eat. So me and my older brother and my cousin was going to get something to eat. And for some reason, I don't know, it was like my stepfather knew something was gonna happen because he was just in a rush. And as he was in that rush, he left walking while my mother was going to pick my younger siblings up from elementary school. So at the time while he walking, my mother came and got us. So we at the house. Now she say, go get something to eat. As we getting ready to go get something to eat, as I'm coming out the door, he's walking. And I just remember, man, he had a look on his face, didn't even look like him. And I hit his shoulder. Our shoulders hit. And I said, damn, man. I said, watch where you going. And it was like I hit a brick wall or something. And next thing I know, my cousin come out the house and say, tell my brother and I that he got a knife to my mother's throat. And that's when we walking back up there, and when my mother elbowed him, like, and soon as she tried to take out running, I shot. And the bullet split, and it pierced his lung and his heart, and it killed him. And
One shot.
it's a hard.
It was just one shot.
One shot. And where my mother lived at in Tyler, because I was staying in Dallas, and she had moved to this part, and it was hard to find. Because we sit there and watch this is back before cell phone, so we didn't have a phone at the house. We sit there and watch the ambulance pass the house, man, about 7 or 8 times before they even got to him. And when they got to him, he hadn't died yet. But he had internal bleeding. Like, I didn't, like, really, I didn't, the way I was standing, I didn't know if it hit him or not until I seen like a little red dot on him. And it wasn't a lot of blood, so like you used to see in the movie, so I didn't
You
know
didn't think too much of it, yeah.
Yeah, until he dropped. And the nigga, he ended up passing on the way to the hospital.
Man.
And
at the time when you shot him, what were you thinking at that time? Like, oh man, like I'm about to go to jail for this, or how am I? You know what I mean? Like, are you thinking anything at this time, or you just kind of shocked in the moment?
everything went through in a split second. And it just like that. And you got time to react. And I tell you, he must have knew something, because after he died, man, we found butcher knives everywhere in the house. Hid under this clothes or hid by the closet. And that's why I say it's sort of like he knew something was going to happen, because the news story read, second murder of Tyler today, last week ago from today, stepfather kills stepson. This Thursday, stepson kills stepfather. And I just remember that. I remember them leading off the story that way.
Did they take you in immediately, or like what happens with you after he goes to the passes away on the way to the hospital?
I think we drove down there. I think we followed the detective down there, and for some reason they thought my older brother Pistol T did it, and they did the first 48 thing, and they put the gel on my hands, and it lit up lime green, so they knew that was the gunpowder. Yeah. So, and it went before a grand jury, and they had, like you said, it was already documented, several occasions of them getting into it. Then they had a 911 call where he was saying that he was going to kill him. And really, when I talk to people like you, I don't realize I grew up in a house with abuse like that. Like, it was just normal, and they always argued. I had never seen it get to that point to where he hit her or nothing. She had told me some things, because you got to keep in mind, I know you don't know this, but I got 3 younger sisters and a younger brother that's slow. And my mother always said that's why she think he was slow, because she got into it with him one time and he kicked her in the stomach. And that right there was the only thing that I actually ever just heard. And
even then, you ain't really thinking too much of that at the time, because you just used to the arguing and all that. You think it's just it's more bickering.
It should have been a big deal, but it wasn't.
Right,
no
that's
big
what I'm
deal.
saying. Because at that time, it was just what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it should have been a big deal, but until I started talking to other people, then I realized that and
you were around some domestic violence and didn't even realize it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, really, and it's amazing to me that that growing up in a household like that, I mean, and you know, the sad thing is, it made me a better person. Because I got a daughter, and my daughter is 26, and you know, before I argue in front of her and take her through that, then I just rather break up and keep her straight. So a lot of stuff that they did, I just did the opposite of, and it made, to me, I came out better because I really didn't know.
So did you ever get charged or convicted or something? Like, what ended up happening with that?
No, it was rude self-defense.
Oh shit.
It was rude self-defense. And you got to think, shoot, I'm 19. So, like you said, in that split second, I thought about it that quick. Like, you know, hey, this could be your freedom. Freedom of mama. So, you know, it happened just like that. But I did think about it, though. And at that point in time, whatever they decided to do that was what they felt was fair, I was with that. You know, my mother was living. So long as she was good, I was good.
You live with that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is I got 3 little sisters and a little brother, and God just really blessed me with a family of understanding. Nobody never talked down on me. And I mean, and even to this day, even though I tell you the story, I love they dad. I ain't got no issue. I don't even like when people say, "Oh, he got what he deserved." Like,
it's unfortunate to you, but that's what it came down to.
And
right.
when they say that, to me, you taking a soundbite out of this guy's whole life, and like, nah, we had a lot of good times. Like, yeah, what he did was messed up, you know, but.
This man was a part of your life for 13 years, though.
Yeah,
right.
the person that I knew him to be. I mean, even this, the gun that I killed him with, he bought for me for graduation. When I graduated, he was like, "What you want?" And I said, "I want this 22 down at the pawn shop." He went down there, he bought me the 22, and same gun I ended up shooting him with. So all that was like normal. You know, I mean, we growing up, we shooting dice or whatever. He come get in on the dice. We break him. Sometimes he break us, you know. But it wasn't, you know, when you add it all up, then he sound like a bad dude. And I guess really, overall, if we just being honest, overall, yeah, he was a bad dude if you're going to go off that, of what actually happened. So that's why a lot of people don't know that story. So that's why I got to do the book. I got to do the book because it's still people that come up and tell me versions that they don't heard. And these are things I never spoke of. After that, 93, 5 years later, my mother passed away. My mother get cancer, passed away. I end up raising my 2 youngest sisters. So those things, people will understand how I end up, because I'm in the middle. I got 3 older sisters and an older brother too. So everybody looked like, how you end up raising them and nobody else? And when I look back on it now, Donnie, God prepared me the whole time. Because I can remember growing up and all my friends used to say, y'all mama make a difference. She let your older brother stay out here and let him do what he want to do, and you got to go in and help her cook and talk to her while she do laundry and clean up. And I wish a lot of my friends died at a young age, but I wish they was alive so I could say, nah, it wasn't her. It was God preparing me to raise my little sisters. So when my mother died in '97 from pancreas cancer, uh, we never missed nothing like I can imitate her cooking. I'm nowhere near her cooking.
But you something like it, though.
You know, I ain't like, you ask her, Mama, how you do this? It ain't no recipe. She don't use no measuring cups. She just pour in her hand or pour it in the pot or whatever. And I'm not that good, but God prepared me enough to where soon as she died, man, I went in the kitchen, never made turkey and dressing, nothing like that. Sweet pea salad, the potato salad I was making. Went in there, did it just right off the bat, and that is one of the things that when people say, "Why you quit doing music and you start back doing it?" Because of stuff like that, I took off to raise my sisters, and take care of that business.
Cool. So, man, talk about so you got the music now. You know what I mean? Talk about what you got coming up musically. For everybody to look out for you, man.
I definitely right now I got Bay out. It's doing pretty good and people digging it. With you on the beat, and I definitely plan on working with you again if the Lord say the same. Because when you let me hear the folder, all of them was jamming to me.
Appreciate it, man.
But I just, that one right there just kind of jumped out at me. And right now, it's a lot of dudes doing that right now, the female thing. But I got that coming up. I got a couple other producers I'm going to work with in D-Town. And right now, I'm in between that, writing a book, and just trying to make sure everything else keep going. Because, like I said, with the music, you are like, I don't think that I like where God got us now. Like a lot of times, if I go out and I'm with the 69 Boys, like I'm a fan of music. I love music. Like I love, and me and a couple of my friends were talking the other day. They do music too, but they don't do it like they used to do it, like you were saying. And I realized the difference between me and them is they was like, yeah, man, we gotta get some young artists. And that's cool. Getting a young artist is cool. But for me to feel like I'm living, even while I was raising my sisters, I gotta go through that process. I gotta listen to the different beats or tracks and choose one, and I gotta write to it, and I gotta record it. Whether it's just me listening to it or I load it up for other people to hear. I gotta do that to feel like I'm living. And that's the difference between me and my homeboy and them. Like now, I enjoy every piece of it. I enjoy it, but it could be your show, or it could be your DJ set. I enjoy being there. Whether it's the studio, most dudes hate that. Performing, writing, listening to the tracks, man, I love all that. And it ain't gotta be me recording in the studio. Just being on the scene, I still, music is the one thing I still get excited for. Always. And every time, man, it's like I definitely don't take what we do for granted. And every time it's like starting over again. Like I get that same rush. Like I love that, the nervousness before you hit the stage, and when you hit it, everybody screaming and all that, and I just love it, man. So definitely, now that I raised my daughter, now that I raised my sisters, the youngest, what's up, Eureka? She loved your tracks too. She a big Propane fan. She's over in Japan in the Navy. So now that I got them out the way, I can get back to doing me, and that's my enjoyment, doing the music. So definitely you can look for more songs in the future.
That's what's up, man. Well, man, you want to give your social media and everything out, man, before we close it up?
Yeah, you can find me at This Is Trixx. That's Trixx, Trixx. I got 2 Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitter. That's all you got to do is Google This Is Trixx.
Alrighty, well, that's what it is, man. That's Trixx, man. Y'all check him out. Check out everything he's got going on, man. Follow him. This is Trixx on social media. We out.
Thanks a lot, man.
All right.